workspaces are constantly evolving. The question has gone from how many people can we fit in a space to how can we make the space work for our employees and our teams. The focus is now on how people move throughout the space, how they feel, how they react, how they can work at their best, and also how they can recover. So I think there's been a shift from the fixed desk request where a company has a certain X amount of headcount and then you need to provide X amount of desks. The request has moved now to how a person uses that space and their journey through. They may not be sat at a desk all day, they might like to have a nice kind of lounge working setting, collaboration time, a meeting time. So it's less about how many desks can we fit in and more about how the person uses that space and changes their session throughout the day. I think how people feel within a space is usually under-considered. We need to allow time for people to relax and mentally reset, so recovery is often underestimated. I think as a person, well, they're always expected to have kind of constant focus, constant levels of performance, but really we need to allow time for mental reset, relaxation, so that you can continue with the same energy throughout the day. We know that people perform their best when they're happy and fulfilled, which comes from their experience within the space. So operational constraints of experience-led design are usually in the square foot and budget allocated to projects. We need to convince businesses to see the value in putting money into these areas of respite and recovery, as well as the kind of focus work and workstations. I think every business is different. So, you know, we have the companies, like the tech companies, for example, that need the bigger workstations. They might need 3 monitors and they are still on that sort of fixed desk notion. They might need a lot of phone booths because they have a lot of Zoom calls rather than the collaborative side of things. And then we have other companies, maybe some more creative companies that want more collaboration space, want their teams to be able to kind of work together in more of a relaxed environment. So that desk density will be lower. We also know that teams aren't working from the office every day. So again, businesses want to invite their employees back and make a space that their people want to be in, rather than forcing them back to the office. So we've got a lot of collaboration, a lot of breakout for those scenarios. Yes, I think with a lot of companies we need to advise as well as deliver what their demands are. For example, their headcount might be 80 people, they don't need 80 desks, although that's something we need to help them understand that not all employees want to work from a fixed desk. They might want to work from a team table, they might want to work from a relaxed lounge setting, or they might need focus time in a phone booth. So to allow for this movement throughout the day, we don't need to provide the 80 desks. We can provide these kind of different working sessions, as we refer to them. Yeah, I think we've already seen a shift in workspaces from being kind of your standard office environment to now going towards a hospitality setting, comfortable, hotel-esque setups. But I think the future is to be more human-centric than that and more experience-led, which will be fulfilled through hospitality services, bringing in programming and events just to enhance a user's experience throughout the day. So without knowing the end user, at Knotel we're always designing spaces with this strategic base plan that can be adapted as businesses grow or businesses change for that particular workspace. For example, we might have a venture company who are a startup. They're coming in with circa 20 person headcount. So they want a lot of collaboration space. They're still kind of developing their business. Not sure how they're going to grow in the next 6 months, but we'll always develop a day one plan for when they move in with a 20 headcount and work on a space that can grow for them and their company as they need. So we'll create a day two plan for them that they know they can grow into the space. I think priority is actually in the power, making sure that the space is set up for this sort of day one, day two plan. So the trade-off with that is that we won't be able to put feature lighting in, for example. We'll always grid the power to sort of that maximum desk density. And we'll also grid the lighting just so that the space is kind of agile, adaptable for whatever the layout needs to be, and that there's not too much sort of build waste or build change between those adaptations. So I think the things we avoid are sort of fixed furniture, fixed pieces. Everything is modular, so everything can be moved around, changed as per the company's needs. We also flex furniture in and out of different workspaces. So we have a circular warehouse where we'll flex pieces in and pieces out to other workspaces as per different businesses' needs.